Free, and you can't buy a more potent pain reliever without a prescription.
We are ready to begin competition now in the 400-meter intermediate hurdles. And we have a field of 8 involved, and the favorite in this event, if we were to pick a favorite, and according to you, Larry, this can be a very close race, but the man to watch would be Ed Brown from Saginaw Valley.
Well, Doug Hansen up there has built an amazing track program. They competed, I think they were 4th in the NCAA 4x800-meter relay.
There's our lane assignments. From Tuskegee in lane 1 is Larry Bradley. In lane 2 is Sandy LeBeau from California State University at Hayward. In lane 3 is Andrew Pressberry of Southeast Missouri. In lane 4 is Floyd Johnson of Tuskegee. Ed Brown, the man we mentioned, from Saginaw State in lane 5. In lane 6, it is Dwayne Johnson from Adelphi. In lane 7 is Tim Curry from California State at Bakersfield. And in lane 8 is Calvin Gunning of Norfolk State.
In lane 2, Sandy LeBeau is the defending champion, Cal State Hayward. He's also been drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and is captain of the Cal State team this year. He has qualified yesterday with 51:48 in the qualifying time. We have 3 runners here who have qualified in under 51 seconds to get into the finals. And I'm referring to Floyd Johnson, Andrew Pressberry, and Ed Brown.
They wouldn't be grooming LeBeau for a wide receiver by any chance.
Oh, I'm sure there's probably, with his speed and agility, many positions they look at him at. Defensive back and the like.
Sure.
There's lots of positions there. We have 2 runners here from Tuskegee Institute. In lane 1, we've got Larry Bradley, and also out in lane 4 in Floyd Johnson, who went 50 and 76/100ths in his qualifying. And I'd like to thank them on behalf of music fans everywhere for giving us, at Tuskegee, the group was formed there, Lionel Richie and the Commodores. Thank you, Tuskegee.
I'll second that. The time we can look for in this event, Larry, would be around 50-51, somewhere around there.
50-51 is it, and if he keeps up his string anymore this year as he's done for the last 4 years, they're going to rename this event the Edwin Moses Hurdles.
So Ed Brown would be the man to watch from Saginaw Valley. He will be in red and white. He is in lane 4, and he would be the favorite if we were to pick one in this event.
Joe, I mentioned Moses just briefly because he came from Morehouse College, which is in Division II. It's a Division II school, and he's a product of this environment.
They're in the blocks, just about ready to get underway with the 400-meter intermediate hurdles. Men's competition, 1982 NCAA Division II Track and Field Championships, and we are underway. And Ed Brown moves it right out Saginaw Valley. They come to the first hurdles. All 8 contestants cleared them very well. How high are those hurdles, Larry?
3 feet 6 inches. Keep an eye on the hurdles here. Now watch who clears them first. That's the way to tell who's in the lead. There's in the middle
Brown,
of the track,
right
red
there.
shorts, top singlet is white. That's Ed Brown. Watch him over the hurdles first.
He is still in the lead, although right next to him in lane 5, or excuse me, in lane 6 is Dwayne Johnson of Adelphi. Now Brown moving it out.
Here's where the strength in the class shows around the
Now
bend
he's
here.
moving it out. Adelphi in second place right now. That's Dwayne Johnson in the gold and white.
Sandy LeBeau in lane 2.
LeBeau in lane 2 moving up. LeBeau in the red, but is Ed Brown all the way. And in lane 3,
Andy
Pressberry is in second place from Southeast Missouri. So Pressberry comes on strong at the end to take second place. But Ed Brown, who led from the outset, is the winner of the 400-meter intermediate hurdles here in Division II NCAA competition.
Joe, we have an unofficial time of 50 seconds flat. If that stands up, that'll move him right up there among the top 6 in the country.
So that's an excellent time, and that would equal just about his top time of the year.
That should be an all-time PR. Notice the backstretch here. We've come around the turn. We're now coming down the home stretch.
You see him take the quick look over his shoulder?
Right leg lead. He knows where he's at. He's got the race under control. All he has to do is not mince his steps, keep them down, something which is difficult to do. Ed Brown on the way to his NCAA championship All-American status. A new meet record. Way to get him, Ed.
And Dwayne Johnson had second place until they cleared the final hurdle, and it was at that point that Andrew Pressberry overtook him and captured the number 2 spot.
He's using it about 11 steps in between. Notice, again, the power and the drive. You lift your legs. These are excellent athletes. They make good half-milers. They make top quarter-milers. Ed Brown, Saginaw Valley, and Michigan.
Well, again, Dwayne Johnson at the hurdles until they hit the second hurdle was very close to Ed Brown, and then Brown moved out on him, and Johnson, when they hit the last hurdle, had a slight lead on Pressbury, and Pressbury moved out on him at the hurdle.
Joe, in a way, in most running races, over a quarter of a mile, or at that distance, 400 meters, the real race starts in the second half of the race. You can go to the mile run. It's almost like being up there early on, but the creams tends to get separated, usually on the back stretch of a one-lap race. Things can happen, and that's what we saw there. We saw Brown's strength and ability. He ran a controlled race. Other men went out too fast, faster for them than they should have probably. They tended to die. He surged on, and 50 flat we have for our time, which should be very close to the exact time.
Larry, when you're in a field like that and you have a guy like Brown there that you know you're probably going to have to beat, do you tend to look to him and try to get in front of him, and maybe that's a mistake you shouldn't make?
Well, I think most athletes, if they're wise, will tend to use those people as a really a draw, a magnet. They'll try and stay fairly close to these top runners and try and improve their own times. If they're smart, they won't get in over their head by trying to take the guy out, so to speak.
So Ed Brown of Saginaw Valley is the winner of the men's 400 intermediate hurdle championships here in NCAA Division II competition. Leandra is standing by down in the field with Ed, so let's go downstairs.
I guess the best way to describe Ed Brown is a sophomore sensation from Saginaw, and that's a mouthful. Ed, in the early goings of the race, you were neck and neck, but then I guess, is this your style of running the hurdles to break it out in the last few? In fact, up to the third relay, you were in a neck and neck competition.
Yeah, that's what I like taking it out at the end. Try to hold on in the front and just take it out at the end.
Okay, I have just been informed that unofficially you have just set a new NCAA Division II record. It looks like that 49.84 might be the mark.
Great, I was shooting for it today. 49.
49?
49.
Well, if it's official, congratulations to you, and thank you for stopping by.
Okay, thank you.
Our congratulations, too, to Ed Brown.